Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We're tonight's entertainment. Well, hello, beautiful. You look nervous.
I've seen now what it would have to become to stop men like him.
The night is darkest just before the dawn. I promise you, the dawn is coming.
And here we go. Come on. This city deserves a better class of criminal. I'm gonna give it to him. No! You'll see. I'll show you.
You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Will you be wanting the back pod, sir?
In the middle of the day, Alfred? Not very subtle.
The Lamborghini, then.
Much more subtle.
Well, I wasn't able to go to this preview, Gavin, but I know you had, and I like Christopher Nolan, the director. Interesting pedigree. Take us away with Batman.
He is actually. Look, he's made more than 5 movies, but to me this is his 5th triumph. We have Memento, brilliant. Insomnia was a really good remake. We had the first Batman. I wasn't a huge fan of it. It was better than all the others. And then we have The Pledge, another quality movie, and here's The Dark Knight. Yeah. The Prestige. I said The Pledge. Thanks for correcting me. Well done. So that's 5 winners in a row, in my opinion, and this one is a winner. Mainly, I think he's the star of the show, Christopher Nolan. And you know I don't like superhero flicks. People can't talk me into them. I find them predictable and obviously fanciful. But this one's dark, and it starts really in a dark sense where you have a very violent bank robbery. You get to meet Heath Ledger straight up as the Joker, and Heath as a Joker in this movie is no campy Cesar Romero or a campy Jack Nicholson, as much as we love Jack Nicholson. Here he's playing a serial killer who's basically got his face made up, and he's terrifying. He's brilliant in this.
Wow.
What I do like about it, it is violent, it's not for kids, it's dark throughout, and I think it's made for an adult audience. In fact, it's so dark, it reminds me of those Frank Miller graphic novel adaptations more than a Marvel comic sort of thing, if you know what I mean.
Sin City kind
like
of.
a Sin City sort of thing, without much humour. Obviously the Joker has a few lines, but he's so twisted and nasty and slitting people's throats that there's no real room for comedy in here. The other thing I like about it is it's very convoluted. A lot of people won't like it because there's a lot of plots going on, but I loved it. Great cast. Christian Bale, stoic as Batman, but it doesn't run around him, does it, Cos? It's really about Heath as the Joker, Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent, the DA, and a terrific supporting cast with Morgan Freeman and Michael Caine phoning their performances in.
Maggie Gyllenhaal taking over from Katie.
Gary Oldman and Eric Roberts. Need I say more? Cos.
Huge cast. Hey, he's left me nothing to say except that it really is much more sinister than I probably would have imagined. People were saying this is a darker version, this is dark, and the Batman Begins franchise was pretty dark too, but I don't know if the extra weight with Heath Ledger's performance makes it so, but it is so dark and evil and sinister, and I reckon that for a young audience there are scenes in this that'd be the kind of movies that when they're 30 they'll say, oh, when I was a kid I saw this image and it has stayed with me, because Harvey Dent's character, Harvey Two-Face or whatever he becomes, his makeup, you know how in cartoon movies they normally just bung a bit of paper mache over their face, sort of a little bit. No, his is really graphic when you get to see his face. And of course the Joker is really psychopathic.
So not one to take the children to.
No.
I don't think so. I think it's teenage movie. I wouldn't take primary school age kids to it. And I think the good thing about the screenplay in this is, I said it was convoluted, but it tries hard to give every character motivation for what they're doing, which I find in these sort of movies, who cares about motivation, right? They just do what they do. But even the Joker has motivation. He's not doing these crimes for financial gain. He's this twisted...
So there's plausibility, Gavin, in
There's
a
actually
superhero movie.
People die in this.
gruesomely.
People die in it, which you don't often see, right? And there's a lot of moral dilemmas in this, and Cos, you were mentioning about the subtext in this.
I was also saying it's a very adult-oriented moral dilemmas, the kinds of things they're asking the adults to make a choice about. The Joker's kind of whole thing is, I want to see how far I can push Harvey Dent to see if the White Knight can, you know, be made to do evil things if bad enough stuff happens to him. Now that's a really deep moral dilemma that he's put him in the position of. And also the explosive part with the ships and all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of adult stuff that I think would be over the kids' heads, and a lot of also talking about pushing the organised crime underground, because they've done such a good job of cleaning up the streets that they've actually made the criminals more desperate. And what do more desperate criminals do? They resort to more desperate measures. And, you know, there's a little bit of resonance there with what is happening in the world at the moment.
And to finish off, the effects are brilliant, like the action sequences and Batman's flying sequences are seamless. There doesn't seem to be this intrusion of CGI where you see all the time. It's seamless and it's convincing. A full price plus GST for me. Some people are saying movie of the year. I think they're probably, you know, been anticipating. It's not movie of the year for me because there are other meatier movies that I like to see. And I want Christopher Nolan to try something different after this because I think he can do anything. Heath Ledger's a shoo-in for an Oscar nom. Cos?
Yes, full price from me, because it really is, it's quite a startling thing, but I left feeling like the worry lines on my frown were 10 centimetres deeper, because I sat like this throughout the whole thing, just with a horrible, anxious feeling, which I did not expect to have.
People are saying that they come out with like a headache.
Yeah, it's quite long too.
Full price.
Yeah.